We're back.
We're back, Adam. Not only are we back, we got an in-studio guest with us today.
Who's come to clear his name.
Debunk. To debunk some mistruths that he says, to clear the air.
Yeah.
To share some stories. Ladies and gentlemen, Kieth.
The Boomstick himself.
Boomstick. Timmy. Winchell. Yeah, I don't know anybody that has more nicknames than you. It's like Paul Powers was raised with you, and he just named you all kinds of things. One of our staffers gives everybody nicknames, not one or two, but a bunch of them. So, anyway, we got Kieth here with us. But before we dive into that, Adam, our podcast is brought to you by who?
By our lovely friends at Deer Camp Coffee.
Deer Camp Coffee. Right here. All right, we got some Deer Camp Coffee right here. If you've never checked out Deer Camp Coffee, you totally should. And I got me a cup of that actually right here. It's pretty good stuff, bud. Pretty good stuff. So Kieth, what would you like for us to call you?
Well, I mean, obviously, the last podcast y'all had, I mean, it was pretty well known that I'm Boomstick.
All right, Boomstick. All right. So this is going back to season 1. The podcast was titled "Where There's a Will, There's a Way." When we had Brett Will on the podcast, I've known Brett a while, but I ain't known Brett as long as you have.
Right.
How long do you know? Have you known Brett Whip Will, as we like to refer to?
Yeah, I just learned the whip deal, but so I've known Tater's what I call him.
Okay.
Tater, Tiny Todd, Little Tiny Dancer. Triple threat, Max Bed. I mean, he's got a lot of nicknames too.
Okay.
But I've known him since we were 18.
Okay.
So I'm 42. We're both 42. So 24 years.
Okay.
I mean, I met him, and I'm some of the people that watched the podcast last time. I mean, you see his long hair he's got now and everything.
Yeah.
So when I met this cat,
we were the at that time we were the Hair Bears.
We were
the Hair Bears together.
Yeah.
I had the long hair. He had long hair.
Yeah.
We were the Hair Bears. Yeah.
Well, this guy. So just a little recap, real quick. So like when he showed up in Oklahoma in 1998,
because he's a Michigan boy originally.
Yes. And we played baseball together at Murray State, and Coach told us, "Hey, I got a new kid
at MIT."
MIT.
Yeah, Murray and Tishomingo.
Yeah, and Tishomingo's grown. Like there was nothing to do when we were there. We had to make stuff, and they got a lot more stuff now. But Coach had said, "Hey, we got a new kid coming from Michigan." This guy shows up, and he had both ears pierced.
What?
He had hoops in his ears.
Hoops
in both ears.
Hoops,
like quarter size.
No, he didn't.
Yes, baggy pants with holes all in them. That he just looked like he just beat somebody off the street and took them off of him. Some like Doc Martin looking boots, those ones with like the 3-inch soles.
Oh yeah, so he looked like he was 6'1".
Oh man,
yeah,
he was actually 5'9".
Yeah, and like an Alabama hat. I think that used to be his team. Now he'll claim that he's an OU diehard, but he was wearing an Alabama hat.
Yeah,
but that was the image I saw, and I was like, who is this guy?
Who is this jackwagon rolling down here?
Who did Coach bring in? Like, this is weird.
What position Brett play?
Second base.
Second base. It's because he didn't have an arm to play short, right?
Probably no. He didn't have the arm to play short. He was a good second baseman. He had quick hands, quick glove. But I mean, he was a good second baseman. He was a solid ball player.
All right. How was he with a stick in his hand?
He wasn't bad. I mean, he I'm sure you've heard the story about his. Almost, he thought was going to be a bomb.
No, we don't know. We don't know any. This is why you're here.
So
partially,
yeah.
There was a game. It was at home, and Tater gets a hold of a ball. I mean, he pounded this thing pretty good, and he takes off. Kind of the Jason Giambi strut type deal. Like, oh, this is gone. Well, it wasn't even midway. When it hit the wall, he realized he screwed up.
Yeah.
It did not clear the fence.
Okay.
So he makes it to second.
Okay.
Coach is pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Brett's on second, and Coach McBrayer he looks out, and I mean he's redhead. He's solid red, and he looks at Brett. I mean in front of everybody. So there's no doubt. He looks at Brett. And he goes, he goes, hey, next pitch, you here.
Okay, so we just told everybody what's happening.
He told everybody, like, hey, next pitch, my guy's still in second to third. Brett's like, crap. I mean, you want me to steal, but you just gave it away. Next pitch, Brett takes off. He makes it. Thank God. He makes it. He's safe. So he's standing there, and, Brett, on his, I think it's his right arm, he's got that barbed wire.
Yeah.
Okay. When he got that in Florida way back when, and he thinks he's Billy Bad with it. So coach comes up to him and says, I won't use, because our coach McBrayer, that dude could cuss like nobody I've ever seen. But it's a family friendly podcast, so I appreciate, He rips Brett a new one, basically, and tells Brett, he says, I don't know who you think you are. I don't know if you think you're Frank Thomas, but I crap barbed wire bigger than that. Don't you ever pull a stunt like that again.
Crap barbed wire bigger than that.
But yeah, so.
Oh, man.
It was a funny one, though, because, I mean, it was hilarious because he looked at Brett on second. He goes, next pitch, you here. Like, the pitcher knows, the catcher knows, everybody knows,
but he still made it.
Yeah, like he still. I was shocked. I was like,
because I have a feeling, I haven't watched, but I have a feeling Brett can scoot a little bit. He looks like he could run pretty quick.
He ain't as fast as you think, man. I mean, and I'm going to toot my own horn, Brett, and he can't deny this. So back then, I was the fastest guy on the team.
Yeah,
I ran a 6.5 in the. They timed you in the 60 in baseball.
Yeah,
and I ran a 6.5 in the 60.
Yeah, that's scooting.
But Brett was probably 6'9", 7 maybe.
Ooh.
My
14-year-old son is, about a 6'7", 5".
Yeah.
So that's pretty slow if you're hitting a 7.
Yeah, Brett he's probably around there. So he must have had a good jump or something. But I don't know how the guy made it, but he did. But
it was a big old nasty hanging curveball. It just took forever to get to the plate, change up or something. Maybe,
I forget what pitch it was, but
yeah,
when he hit it, he thought, "Oh, this is gone," and it didn't.
So you and Brett been buddies for like 24 years.
Oh yeah,
something like that. All right, and so Brett came on the podcast, and the first time I met you is that me and you went alligator hunting together with Gator Reggie.
Yeah.
And so we shared that story on the podcast about how we go, and so there's some aspects of that story that you feel need to be debunked, and we'll get into that right here. All right, this is your opportunity to do that. You immediately when the podcast came out, you're like, hey, there's some things that were not true in this podcast.
Oh, 100%.
All right, but there's some things from this in the podcast that were true. Number one, could we understand anything that Gator Reggie said?
Absolutely not.
Not a thing, right? No. I mean, when he started, he's like, man, I tell you, man, you got to get up again, man. Got to out at that bowl, man. And we both remember sitting at dinner. Do you remember sitting at dinner with him?
the night we got there.
Yeah. Wasn't that a Ramada?
Yeah, it was a diner in the.
Yeah, this hotel we stayed in was a Ramada Inn.
Yeah.
And it had a casino connected to it, right? And this buffet restaurant. And we met him that first night
at the restaurant. And
remember, he got out and he had on gray sweatpants and a white collared shirt, and together. And it was a nice white shirt, but he had gray sweatpants on. We go in and we sit down, and he starts telling stories. And I don't know what he's saying, so I'm trying to read his body language, right? So he's like, got that name, man? Got that name? Out of the ball, man. Shoot. And you're just reading his face because I don't know what he's saying. So if he said like, he laughs and we would laugh, And if he was like, gotta shoot, got at the ball, man.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, yep. We just shake our head because we didn't know what was going on. And then he also
you gave Reggie your entire life's will and testament. I think you agreed verbally.
I probably did. I've watched last night.
You want to give me all the things that you...
I watched last night the Seinfeld episode about the girl that the low talker, where Jerry agrees to wear the pirate shirt on the Today Show.
Yeah,
and he doesn't know that he does because he can't understand what the girl's saying. He's just going, "Yep, okay, sure."
Yeah, you gave it all to Gator Reggie.
I think that's exactly what happened. And then also, so that aspect of the story is true because I tell that story quite a bit. And
I showed up to eat because I remember leaving there like, what did he say? Like, what are we doing tomorrow?
Yeah, like what time are we supposed? I really honestly don't even remember what time we were supposed to meet him. It's just like, So I think we even showed up like daylight at this dock or wherever we're going to meet him because we didn't know what time exactly to be there. And you'll also, confirmed that he had a son who was about 6'4", about 280.
Yeah, dude, his son was
big dude.
Well, I wouldn't mess with him at all.
Oh, and did you hear him speak one time?
No, the dude was mute.
I think he was mute,
but
right?
Remember, he carried that pistol.
Right.
Like some bad stuff could have really gone down out there in the swamp.
Right. I mean, we're just out with a guy. We don't know these people. He's got this ginormous beast of a man's son.
This is a don't make eye contact,
100%.
Kind of gentleman. This is
100%.
Oh, don't look him in the eye.
I didn't even tell my wife where we were, which was a bad mistake because I would have never been found.
Yeah, because it's a little different today, technology-wise, where you can find your location on your phone, whatever. It was just a different time. So that aspect of the story is true. But we told another story in the podcast about the casino, and Brett's rendition of it was: we go to this casino, which I'm not a gambler. I'm just there hanging out, watching other people lose money. And we go in, and if you'll remember, is the aspect of this is true. It had an 8-foot ceiling, and there was so much cigarette and cigar smoke in this casino that if you were over probably 6'1", you had a hard time making out people's faces because there was so much cigarette smoke in it.
Yeah,
it was just a cloudy, grungy casino.
Mm-hmm.
That aspect's true. But Brett says you saw a machine. This lady had been sitting at wearing it out. He basically says, you were like, hey, you need to go put the money in this. He goes over, hits it, and he wins $12,000. You walk through what actually transpired.
Well, the whole deal was that he made it sound like he was waiting on me that night. Okay, and so we met with Gator Reggie.
Yeah, had dinner.
Had the dinner, and I remember we checked into our rooms and everything, and it was like 6:30 in the evening. It was still early.
Right, yeah.
And I was sitting there walking around, and I looked at Brett, and I go, what are we going to do the rest of the evening? Like, I'm not ready to go to bed. I'm not 90.
Right.
And he's like, well, I don't know, man. And so I go down to the lobby. They had a coffee machine down there. I get a cup of coffee, and I instantly get on my phone and start Googling, like, we're in Louisiana. I'm Googling casinos. I want to go to a casino. So he calls me, and he's like, because, thinking back to the story, like the night he won the $12,000, I don't remember you being with us.
I was not with you in the moment y'all did. Okay. We went in, I made like a loop, and it was so smoky, I left.
Did you go with Brett and I, or did you drive?
I rode with y'all.
Because
we brought two vehicles. We had Tyler and
yes.
Okay. What's in my mind? Steve.
Pulling their boat.
Pulled their boat, and then me, you, and Brett all rode together.
Well, I remember Brett had called me. I was down in the lobby. He's like, hey, where'd you go? I'm like, I'm down in the lobby. And I said, I'm going to the casino. He's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. So the first casino I Googled was the one that we went to. That, if you remember, that was at like a truck stop.
Okay.
That's the one we walked in. It was like, and it was like a room that was maybe 15 by 15. And just lined with machines, and I was like, "No, this."
Because Daniel Arms was with us too. Daniel Arms went on this trip as well. Daniel was there.
But I remember we stayed there for like, I don't think I never even played a machine in that place. I was like, we can't do this.
Okay, all right.
So we leave and we're riding around. And remember, I looked over and I saw all the lights, and it was this horse track race place that looked like Remington Park.
Okay.
And I was like, that's where we need to go. That casino.
Okay.
So we go into the casino, and I remember asking, like, we were in a good mood, we were joking around, and I asked the people that worked there, the guy at the check-in point, I'm like, hey, where's the machines that pay out? And he was like, back there in the high stakes. I was like, okay. But I remember Brett going, he goes, hey, because he didn't pull any money out of the ATM yet. He goes, I've only got this and whatever. And so we started out, we kind of all split off, and I was doing my thing, he was doing his thing. And then I remember I was playing this machine at the end outside of the high stakes, and Brett came over and he goes, I'm out of money, man. I'm ready to go whenever you are. And I was actually I wasn't winning big, but I was actually winning. And I was like, I still got money, man. I'm playing. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to walk around or whatever. Just holler at me when you're done. Well, whatever time transpired, it came up, and I was out of money. So I start looking around for him. I'm like, where did this guy go?
Right.
And I look back and I see the high stakes sign, and I'm like, I guarantee you there's some bucks back there. sure enough, I walk back there, and he's sitting over on these side machines playing it. And I walk up and I go, I thought you were out of money. Well, I went to the ATM. I'm like, oh, so you pulled money? I said, did you pull any from me? I said, because I'm out of money. He's like, no, but we'll play, man. I'll give you some. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting next to him. He's playing this machine, and I'm looking over.
This is a completely
no, man.
story.
Like this is this is completely
different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember on his podcast, he's like, oh, I was waiting on Kieth and blah blah blah, and or he was saying I was chasing him around. So
Yeah.
I go find him, and I'm watching this lady in the corner of my eye, and she's playing this machine, and I mean I don't know if they had enough cigarettes in that place. How she was smoking, she was just chain smoking. I could see the pile out of her ashtray just looking over there. And so I'm just watching. He has no idea the game plan going in my mind right now.
Right.
And she gets up, and before she got up, I'm still watching her. Brett goes over, and he gets on this machine right behind her. I mean, we're back to back. Well, he's playing it, and I'm kind of watching him, but I'm looking back at her. Well, she gets up, and I'm like, here's our chance. And he had like $42 on his ticket. I go, hey, pull it out. He goes, wow, what's up, man? I go, just pull it out. Quit arguing with me. Just pull it out. So he pulls it out, and he goes, what? I go, put it in that machine right there. And he gave me a little bit of crap. He's like, man, are you sure, man? Because you ain't called anything out. I said, dude, put it in that machine. Promise. He puts it in. One hit, nothing. Second hit, I don't think it did anything. Third hit, this machine goes bananas. I mean, just the whole place. All of a sudden, we feel like we're at a freaking concert.
Right.
And the lady, so she's over there playing another machine. She gets up, and I mean, I've got so much adrenaline flowing. She comes walking over, and she looks at the machine. Now, this is not a machine we have here in Oklahoma. So Brett and I are sitting there like, we don't even know what he won. We just see it climb over 1,000, over 2,000. She comes over. She instantly looks at the pattern, whatever the crap on the screen, and she's like,
mad.
oh, dude, she's fuming,
angry,
unbelievable. I think she would have shot us if she had a gun. And I'm sitting there.
How old is this? What's it? Describe this lady to me.
Oh, easily early 50s, probably 52, 53.
Okay.
But it was made known by the workers that she's a regular and she's got some kind of sugar daddy. They said it was nothing for her to come in and spend $10,000, $12,000 a night.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
So she had,
Holy moly.
She had some major sugar daddy. But she comes over and she's like just fuming. And I mean, I'm sitting there and she goes, I can't believe it. I said, I know. I told him to come over here. I said, look at your ashtray. And
so you're giving it to her.
You're giving it to her.
I poured gasoline on the fire. It made her more mad. She goes stomping off, and finally these workers walk up, and they're like, oh, congratulations, da-da-da. And Brett's like, what did I win? And they go, oh, you won the major jackpot, $12,000. And Brett, I'm sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. So he gets his payout. But that's how the whole story went down. He told it completely wrong. And I want to release something else real quick about Tater. Because y'all did that podcast. It was not a Friday, correct?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I promise if you go back and look, it was not a Friday. This is something everybody needs to know about Tater. That guy's memory, Sunday through Thursday, is horrible. Okay, so if you ever do a podcast interview or want to know anything from Brett, do not ask him on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Ask him on a Friday. You hit that cat up on Friday, he can tell you what street he was riding down at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in third grade on his bicycle. But if you ask him something on Thursday, he can't tell you where he ate lunch yesterday.
Why is this? Why is this?
He and I have gotten into several arguments on a Friday. Because all this, I don't know if the ginkgo kicks in his brain, but all of a sudden, Friday, man, this cat, I'm telling you, this guy knows everything on Friday. Like, he could solve world problems on Friday.
Right.
But Sunday through Thursday,
he can't do it.
He can't tell you what color his socks are. But Friday, I guarantee if you were to test that guy on a Friday, it's very potential that he would have the IQ of Einstein.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
But just on Fridays. Saturday.
Friday.
It's just
Friday.
He's
Friday.
He's
Friday.
geared up to go. That's why he's ready for the weekend.
Friday only. I'm telling it's Friday.
He's turning it on.
But after that,
wow. I mean, I've known Brett for a while, but that is something that I haven't known Brett
Yes.
for. I've probably known Brett 10 years. But that is definitely an aspect of
He can't
Brett
color
Pratt.
inside the lines Sunday through Thursday. But Friday, I'm telling you, the guy.
It's just a crap show, Monday or Sunday through Thursday.
Absolutely.
What about Saturday? What Saturday you been thrown in? What's Saturday like?
Horrible.
Just another horrible day.
Yeah.
So we say Saturday through Thursday?
Yeah, Saturday through Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. So he's got one good day a week.
One good day. That's if you want to know something, like you really want factual information, hit him up on Friday. Other than that, you're wasting your time.
So you guys obviously played collegiate ball together, and then so now your competitiveness is golf. So you guys play golf together.
Yeah, and it gets pretty rough out there sometimes.
It gets pretty rough out there sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. What you got any good golf Brett stories?
Yeah, so I didn't actually start playing golf until I moved up here to Oklahoma in 2012. So I was 32. Didn't go up playing golf or anything, and didn't really care. Got up here, started playing in 2012.
Did you know that Adam was a junior golfer?
I never knew.
Nice.
All pro.
Wow.
All pro junior golfer. That's where I left all of it too. Checked out.
That's a good way to leave.
I
He
went
showed
out on
up
top.
the last time we played
Went out
golf.
on top.
He showed up in work boots and a pair of shorts.
I did.
I'm not kidding you. We was out there. We was at Fire Lake and he was in work boots and a pair of shorts.
I still
And
like the
call-
one arm guy
I
story.
played pretty good.
Yeah, we
played pretty good.
We'll recap on that. But yeah, so you can hop into.
But so yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't start playing until 2012. And when I first started playing, I mean, I started out with a Walter Hagen starter set from Academy or something, and it was horrendous. I mean, so I'm a lefty. I swing left-handed, so I have a natural slice.
Yeah.
So when I first started playing, I mean, fairway straight ahead, I would line up at least probably.
I call my slice natural too. It just makes me feel better about it. But
No, lefts really do actually have a natural slice.
well, this righty does too.
But
Why are you arguing with me?
but fairway straight, I would literally line up, no joke, 60 degrees over
Okay.
because it would hook that much. I was like, I was fun to go play with because, it was easy to make fun of because it's like, look at this guy, like he has no idea what he's doing. I mean, there's not a mathematician or anybody or whatever you call it, in a professor that could even explain how my hit was. But I started working on my game over the years. Never took lessons. Now I will say, so Tater, who has been playing for years, he's taking lessons at Golf Tech.
Okay.
Claims to be friends with Bob Stoops. Like he was taking lessons at the same time as Bob Stoops was. Like all of a sudden they were buddies. I'm like, okay, whatever makes you feel better, buddy. Mm-hmm. And
you got a lot to be my friend.
Yeah, he's lied a lot to me through the years, and I'm still friends with him. But I didn't take lessons. I just started self-teaching, and I watched other people. But I started watching videos on how to do my grip and everything, changed up my hand placement, and it's helped me a lot. So kind of getting to the whole, because Brett has told everybody that I gave myself this name Boomstick. That is a 100%
Yeah, because
lie.
he says that you are a self-proclaimed boomstick. That
Yes.
you refer to yourself as that. You tell people that's what they need to call you at the golf course and at Fire Lake, which is y'all's home course where y'all play most of the time in Shawnee, Oklahoma. That the people there, you told them to refer to you as Boomstick. That was his claim.
Correct. That's what he's saying. And everybody does know me by Boomstick at Fire Lake. And actually, Boomstick is actually known in several states now.
Oh, okay.
It's known in Florida now, Texas, Oklahoma.
That's not it. He is known. He is known.
Yes. But, supposedly this deal, I gave myself the name. Well, here's what really happened was, and I know it's cliche that, we all play our best round of golf or whatever we're doing when we're not with our competitive buddy.
Yeah.
Because Brett actually, we have our moments, but he's actually not really good for me to play with because I actually play much better golf away from him because if I am doing anything a little bit better than him, he's instantly like a 3-year-old kid. He's like pouting.
Yeah.
He's upset. He's mad.
Okay.
And so like we don't support each other, and it's probably not a good combo. But I was playing with some buddies.
Sounds kind of toxic, actually.
It's
a toxic friendship.
It's very toxic. I'm really surprised we've been friends and as good of friends as long as we have because he's actually a very bad influence on my life.
There's been moments too where you guys have been angry at one another and you haven't spoken to one another for amounts of time.
Yes,
What's the longest you guys have gone without speaking to one another?
Probably at least 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks. And we can do it. But yeah, I mean,
it's probably going to happen after this podcast because we haven't told Brett that this is happening. It's just going to be released, and we're just going to send it to him.
Well, he likes to do things to other people, but when it's done to him, he doesn't like it. So yeah, I mean, I got popped. I got surprised. Y'all are like, hey, we did this podcast, and I'm watching it like, this is all a bunch of lies. Are you kidding me?
And you immediately reached out and were like, hey, man,
yeah,
I need to clear my name.
I got a hold of you. I'm like, Brad, this is not right. I want my time to come explain.
I need my time.
And he just,
oh man.
But I got to where I was playing with some buddies on Sundays. We play Sunday morning.
To get jealous.
Kenneth McKee, Bob Surface, and this other guy named Michael. We were out there, and Brett knows I can bomb the golf ball. He knows it. He might admit it silently somewhere. He's told a few people, but he knows I can outdrive him now, and it makes him mad. But we're playing, and that day, I mean, I literally shot like a. I still have the car. I shot a 70, like a 76 that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm bombing my drives. Bob Surface is the one. When I would hit, he would go, boom. He just started doing it. I didn't do it. And then throughout the day, he goes, man, your drives today, Kieth, were killer. He goes, your name is Boomstick. That's how I did not give myself this name. I mean, I'm not that egotistical of a person. The name was given to me, and I have lived it up since then.
Okay. All right.
So, but now, like I said, according to Brad, and I think it's more of a jealousy type deal because he knows I can
he's just jealous of you.
That like, oh, well, you gave yourself that name.
Okay.
So
just to make you look bad.
Just to make me look, because he can't stand it. He can't stand it. So.
Well, I have not much of a golf background. I did, as you mentioned earlier, I was on the first ever Allen High School golf team.
Right.
I never had played golf, hardly at all. Like maybe 2 rounds of golf my entire life prior to that. But my senior year, I was like, man, I'm just whatever. I'm gonna try out for the Allen golf team, and I try out and I made the team. I was a 5. I made our 5th spot. So there's 4 dudes better than me, but there was also about 8 guys who were worse than me, who didn't make the team. All right, so I'm our 5th guy. And I go and play in some tournaments, and I'm a like 95 to a 110 guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's kind of where I'm living in high school golf. I quit a tournament at McAllister, one of the hardest golf courses. It's not even open anymore. I quit, walked to the clubhouse. I was done. You know, I mean that's my level of golf, right? But I did get beat by a one-armed man from Okmulgee, Oklahoma, which is the biggest L I've ever taken in my life. But the dude legit shot like a 78. He only had one arm. He was his home course, okay? Just reminding everybody, the tournament was at Okmulgee. It was his home course, and I was like, I got to beat the one-arm guy, and he absolutely destroyed me. And there's a one-arm guy that plays at Fire Lake pretty regular that we think could possibly be him, so we got to track him down, see if we can get a rematch at some point in time.
If not anything, just to see if you've got it.
Are you from Okmulgee?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Just to see if that's the case. But anyway, I get the invite. Brett starts telling me about playing golf and all this stuff, and so I go and play golf with you guys on a day. All right, I haven't played golf in years. I go that day, and I'm still in my 95 to 110 golf range for the most part of the day. You agree with that?
Yes.
We play. How many holes did we play that day?
We played 18.
We played 18 holes.
Yep.
And through hole 16, I'm a 95 to 110 golfer.
Yeah, I'm like, Brad's not that great.
Not that great, right? I'm not that great. But I can tell you, my pitching wedge is good.
Yeah.
I dropped darts.
Your drives and second shots.
Yeah, that's where I hurt myself.
Yes.
Right? That's where I always hurt myself, just being accurate off the tee box, and that second shot, on a par 4, par 5 always got me. Anyway, but it didn't stop the fact that we all talk trash to one another all the time.
Yeah.
It's 3 dudes playing golf together. We're talking trash, and somehow it was Brett that brought it up.
Oh, he's an instigator.
And he said, hey, why don't you and Kieth play for some money on these last 3 holes?
Mm-hmm.
And so 16, 17, 18. And he said, Kieth, will you give him 2 strokes a hole? And you're like, yeah, no problem, man.
Based on what I've seen. Absolutely.
Based on what I've seen. But here's the deal, Kieth. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments.
Yeah, I learned that day.
It wasn't a carpetbag job. It was no different. I don't know what the difference was. But would you walk through my first, now that there's money on the table, my first shot off the tee box?
Well, 16 would have been that par 3.
Oh, that's right.
Over the creek.
That's right. First one.
Par 3.
Par 3. And I was right off the edge of the green. Chipped on. I ended up parring.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, but
and I have but you gave me 2 strokes, and so I think you parred it too. But because you had given me 2 strokes because I played so bad that day, I got
you holding won it.
Yeah, I got $20.
Yeah.
I just remember when the money. I watched Brad play all that day, and like Brad's saying, we were talking trash to each other.
Oh yeah, all of us were.
But all of a sudden, and you're correct on Brett. Brett is the instigator with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as money came out, like those last 3 holes, I think you could have gone after your PGA card.
No, I could have. I ain't no doubt.
And I was like, I looked at Brett like, where has this dude been? Oh, like, we got money involved, and all of a sudden, where'd this guy come from?
You'd been sharked.
I was mad. I was like, this is a complete setup. Like, we've played 15 holes of nothing but setup, and the last 3, we're bringing money out. And this guy shows up, Mr. Allen Golf.
Oh yeah, Allen Mustang Golf, baby, just representing, class of 2000. Just bringing that noise. So I parred that one, and then what's the next hole?
The next one's a par 4.
The par 4,
where you got the fairway straight ahead, and you got to go over water.
Right. And do you remember how that one went?
I can't remember that one. I just remember the last hole, 18.
Okay, 18.
You were on the green on 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course, I think I tried to go over the trees because I was pretty pissed at that point.
Yeah.
And I tried to go over the trees, and I think I didn't make it. But you were on the green on 2.
So I had a good drive.
Yeah.
Straight, right in the fairway. Beautiful. I mean, I'm set up, and I'm like in the middle of the fairway looking straight at the green. Still a long ways to go. And I remember hitting off the fairway and watching. I mean, I stroked.
Oh,
that
yeah,
ball.
yeah.
And it rolls up. I mean, it took one hop on the fairway, rolled up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the
Right
last
up on
3
the green.
holes, all of a sudden, you were like cool, calm, collected, today's world, like Scotty Scheffler.
Oh yeah.
Before that, you were the guy that got beat by the one-armed guy from Okmulgee.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. I was not a good golfer.
No.
And I wasn't that day up until that last hole. And of course, I'm running my mouth. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, big time players make big time plays, big time moments. Here we are, money's on the table. That's when people step up. That's when I step up. You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff. I'm running my mouth. And so I won the last 3 holes. We played for $20 a hole or whatever, and it wasn't like I expected you to pay. But
And I wasn't paying either.
Because you weren't going to you weren't going you didn't pay. But that led to us just like I carried that, and it was a joke. So like I haven't really honestly probably seen you since that day. And just friends on social media, you'd get on and say something, and I would always hop on and be like, yeah, funny you bring that up when you owe somebody money.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would just keep doing it. I'd keep bringing it up.
And making fun of me for Long John Silver's.
Yeah. And
which
Adam
I respect, by the way.
Adam's a Long John Silver's fan. Is he?
LJS all the way.
It's great food.
Anytime you want to go there, you give me a call. Okay?
It's a great place.
I'm in like playing every time.
So there was a meme that was posted, and I shared it. That says there's a secret society of people that are somehow keeping Long John Silver's open because who actually eats there, and you chimed in on it.
I had a lot of supporters show up.
You did have a lot of supporters show up.
It's a passionate group.
It really, honestly, I feel that's true. I feel like there's a passionate group of people.
There's a lot of people. They take their deep fried cod really, really seriously.
They really do. Do you ring the bell when you leave?
Every time you have to.
I don't myself.
Respect.
I don't. I think I've ringed it a few times.
You got to ring the bell.
But the workers love it. They love it.
They love it when you ring the bell.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They will all scream, "Thank you."
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're trained to do that. Back when they had their training in '86.
It's a Pavlov's dog situation.
The last time that place was remodeled.
Ding. Yeah.
86 Long John Silver's.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, Long John Silver's, reach out to us. We'll work on doing you can sponsor this podcast, Long John Silver's. We will push and support you. I did have Qdoba tweet at me this week, so
For
just
real?
saying, it can happen. It could possibly
happen.
And so we just kind of making fun. I tag Brett and stuff, be like, "Hey Brett, here he is. Guy owes people money, and he's on here talking about this or whatever." And it was just kind of a running joke. Well, so this last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, you were looking for a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
And we are partnered with Kubota, Great Plains Kubota, family dealerships here. And you called me and said, "Hey, man, do you have a contact with Great Plains Kubota, somebody I could talk to about, looking at getting a tractor?" And I was like, "Oh, of course, man." And so I gave you Garrett, who's one of the owner's son, one of the managers there. I gave you his phone number, and it worked out, man. You just got a tractor. It looks good, by the way. Just saw the pictures of it. Looks awesome. He was like, "Man, I should have bought this years ago." Good-looking Kubota tractor from Great Plains Kubota. You bought it there at their Shawnee, Oklahoma store.
Yep.
Great folks over there. Anyway, and so Brett calls me, and of course, I'm just joking around, and I'm like, "Hey, you'll never guess who I literally just got off the phone with." And he's like, "Who's that?" And I said, "Oh, Boomstick." And he's like, "Really? Oh, Timmy called you?" And I said, "Yeah, Timmy called me." And he said, why is he calling you? I mean, because we haven't spoken.
Yeah.
I even look at our text message. Our last text was June 10th of 2021. You know what I mean? Our interaction's just been on Facebook, probably. And I said, "Well, you wouldn't believe it. A guy, he called me, asked me if I could hook him up, get him connected with somebody over at Great Plains Kubota, asking for a favor. I get him a good deal on a tractor." I said, "Pretty funny for a guy who owes me money." Joking around. Well, what's he do?
He tells me.
Yeah, he calls you, right?
And gets things instigated.
Right, he's instigating.
He calls
right?
you.
He calls you up,
Lights the fire, huh?
lights back up the old fire.
He loves lighting fires.
Yeah.
So he lights back up the fire and says, "Hey, I just got a phone with Brett." And he says, "Man, you can't believe that you called and asked him for a favor when you owe him money from $60 from playing golf the other day." Mm-hmm. Really, honestly, 2 years ago.
Yeah, long time.
2 years ago. And you get off the phone with him, and what do?
I call you.
You call me.
Joking around.
Right, totally joking.
I'm like, "Dude, really? We're going to do that?" And then you and I start talking, and we're joking and laughing around, and I'm like, "We're meeting this year. We're playing, and we're playing a full, I will take you on full 18. I'm not doing no 3-4 holes because you save up, but I will play you full 18.
That's right.
But yeah, I call you. And
yeah,
then,
you're basically like, "Hey, I'll give you the money you're owed," and then we're playing 18 holes,
Exactly.
and we're playing it for money.
Exactly.
And you're like, "I'm gonna whoop you up down that golf course."
Right.
And so we're laughing about it or whatever, and we basically like, "Hey, we got an opportunity here."
Yeah, you called me the next morning.
Was it the next morning?
Yes, you had pillow thoughts that night.
I don't remember
the whole night. He went, "Oh,
I don't know."
So Brad calls me. Next
It
morning.
was a Saturday through Thursday. It was cloudy. It wasn't a Friday where I had clear thoughts.
Yeah, but you called me.
I call you, and I'm like, "Hey, man, what if we run with this a little bit?"
Mm-hmm.
That Brett kind of instigated this, what if we run with it? And so we kind of created a scheme to make Brett think that things have super escalated.
Oh, bad.
Super escalated. And so I told Adam, I filled him in on what was going on. So basically, you sent me a fake text message.
Yeah.
That you just ripped me. And you're just like, the longer I thought about it, the madder I've got. And I'm going to not only whoop your butt on the golf course, but I'm going to whoop your butt I told you I was coming to your house.
Yeah,
you said I'll come to your house if that's.
Do it in front of your
I'll
family
meet
and
you.
your neighbors.
Yeah, I'll beat you. I'll come and whoop your butt in front of your neighbors and your family.
Yep.
Whatever I got to do, and so you send me this text message, and so I screenshot it, and I send it to Brett. Immediately calls me, and he was like, "Dude, what the heck's happened?" And I said, "Dude, I don't know. I ain't talked to him since I talked to him on the phone." I said, "I ain't spoke to him." And I said, I wake up to this, that he slept on it, and he's gotten madder and madder the more he thinks about it. And he's just like, man, I'm sorry. He's like, man, old Boomstick, he's kind of a hothead, man. He said, he honestly, this don't really surprise me, But he said, dude, he's just blowing smoke, dude. Don't worry, he ain't gonna do nothing, dude. I said, dude, he showed up at my house. I said, not only if he shows up at my house, I said, I promise you, Brett, I will beat the piss out of him in my front yard in front of my family. And I said, I'll record it. I said, I'm telling you, he better not show up at my house. I said, it'll be bad news. He shows up at my house. I'm telling you. And all this, he's like, dude, he ain't gonna show up at your house. Don't worry about it. Ain't no big deal. Anyway, he says, I tell you what, I'll call him. Yeah. I'm gonna talk to him. So he calls you. And what happens?
He calls me, and he's like. He's kind of playing it off at first, and he kind of laughs, and he goes, I guess things have gotten kind of bad between you and Brad. I'm like, oh, yeah. I said, dude, I'm telling you right now, Brad. I said, I'm ready to just destroy that dude. I'll destroy him wherever. And I said, I'll tell you what, if he shows up at the golf course, I don't know if we're going to play golf. I said, I'm going to beat him on the tee box. And I said, if he shows up to your party this year,
yeah, a 4th of July party.
I'm doing it in front of everybody. And I just kind of get going on, and I play it serious. And Brett's like, man, he's really mad. And I just told him, I said, Brett, I'm just at that point in my life where I'm done talking to people, man. Like I'm just gonna throw fists. I mean, I'm tired of it. And he's like, and he starts going into like Dr. Phil mode. He's like, Timmy, you're 42, man. Like you all of a sudden you're just gonna start just fighting people and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm at in life. And so he's blown away, but he even admits to me, he goes, "Oh man, I never should have told you what Brad was saying, because you were joking."
Oh yeah. Because I'm on the flip side, going, dude, it's kind of on you, Brett, because you told him.
He feels bad at this point,
right?
He's like, I should have never told you, man, because I didn't know it was going to go to this. But yeah, we both have Brett going like he thinks that you're just unbelievably pissed off at me. I'm pissed off at you.
Yeah, you're making threats to me.
Yeah, I mean, I threatened to come to your house, and then you and I start scheming up the next stages.
Well, and then so then he calls me back, and I'm like, hey, he's like, I'm gonna call him. I'll wait a little bit. I said, you talk to him? He said he ends up, he says, yes, call you in a minute or whatever. And he calls me. And he was like, man, he said, I don't know what's going on with him, dude.
He told you I was in a bad place in life.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. He's like, dude, I don't know what's going on with him. He said, man, there's a lot going on with Kieth. Maybe some stuff I probably shouldn't tell you. He's getting there's some work stuff going on, man. It's not good, and he's really got some stress there. And he said, man, just like all of us, we get a little bit older. He started kind of looking into doing some testosterone, boost testosterone stuff. And he said, Brad, he goes, testosterone, he goes, it's just legal steroid. And he says, you know what steroids do to people? They make people crazy. And he goes, I told him, I said, you got to stop. You got to stop doing this. You got to stop looking into doing any type of supplement stuff. It's just it's messed with your head, Kieth. You've lost your mind and all this stuff. And he said, Brad, he goes, he still just, it'll blow over. Just give him some time. He'll get over it, And I've kind of filled Adam in on a little bit of what's going on too. And Adam's just kind of laughing about it or whatever. And
I remember this. Like, this may kill Brett.
Yeah,
this may kill Brett.
This might be the end of it.
This might be all that does it. This is all he can handle at this point.
So the next step is really where things really escalate.
Yeah.
We planned it for you to come to my house, and we faked you ringing my doorbell like I had a video motion camera.
Because your internet line was cut.
My internet line was cut, so we couldn't actually use it. So we had to improvise. So I used my cell phone. Yeah. I'm recording it. So I'm actually standing beside my phone, and you walk up carrying what?
We got my golf club.
You walk up carrying a golf club onto
I had
my
my
porch.
pitching wedge.
You had your pitching wedge.
Yep.
And you walk up and you push my phone like you ring a doorbell. I edit it so that it does the ring doorbell sound.
Yeah.
And you stand back, and then you wait a few seconds, and then you start beating on the door, and you're telling me to come out.
Yep.
Say, come on out. Come on out. And it cuts. It looks great. The video, it looks so good. All right, I'm actually going to put it.
You sent it to me. You sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
It looks so good. It's so great. Yeah. And so I send this to Brett, and I said, "Is this Kieth?" Because you can see your car in the driveway.
Yep.
And he says, "Yes." And I said, "What the heck?" And he says, well, maybe he's just there to talk and bury the hatchet. And I said, did you listen to what he says, maybe he's just there to bury the hatchet. And I said, with a golf club in his hand, Brett? Yeah. And I said, did you listen to what he said to me? And he's like, oh, hold on, I didn't listen to the audio. And then he writes back, oh my gosh. And so then he turns around. Does he call you again?
Yeah, so he texted me because that day I'd gone down to Sulphur.
Okay, that's right.
Job side.
That's right.
And I was coming back. Of course, through Stratford to Tecumseh, there's horrible service.
Oh yeah, horrible.
And so he texts me and says, "Call me."
Yeah.
And I'm fixing to come into Asher, which is even worse service. And so I don't call him yet. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till I get through Asher, north of Asher. But he goes ahead and calls me, and I'm like, I'll go ahead and answer it. And I answered, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just driving home." And I think this was on a Thursday.
Yeah, because I played it like you did it the next day because I was having work done at my house and had all these workers coming to the front door. Yeah. And I said, I didn't have a chance to go through these. I went through them, and Kieth showed up at my house.
Yeah.
That's the story.
But he's asking me, he's like, he starts going in, he's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You showed up at Brad's house." I said, "Yeah." He goes,
"Yeah."
He goes, "When did you go over there?" I said, "I was up in Edmond the other day in the area and had to go check a job and figured I might as well go handle that business." And
oh my gosh, this is Brett. This is gonna kill him.
He's just like, he goes, "With a golf club in your hand?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "So if Brad would have come outside, what were you going to do?" I said, "I was going to pull him out in his front yard and just beat the crap out of him." And he's like, "You can't do." He turns into like daddy mode. He's like, "Kieth, you can't do this. That's assault. Like Brad is calling the cop. Like you could go to jail." I said, "I don't care at this point, Brad. I told you, I will give."
Because I told him too on the phone. I said, "Hey, listen, man, this like showing up at my house." I said, "My kids." I said, this is dangerous. I said, dude, Brett, I said, I'm really thinking I may have to call the cops on this. Like, this is crazy. Like, he's threatened me. He's brought a weapon. This is a serious deal.
Well, he starts diving in on the testosterone stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, I've had 2 rounds of, I've gotten testosterone pellets.
Right.
And actually, as we age, man, our T level goes down.
Yeah.
And when you boost it up, it actually... the pellets in the right way and everything. You don't go on a roid rage. It actually improves your mood. It makes you happy.
It makes you want to prank your friends.
Yes, it makes you want to prank your friends.
Do this kind of thing.
It makes you think so much clearer that you can actually do stuff like that.
You can actually pull this kind of stuff off.
You're having Fridays every day.
Every day.
You're having
Friday.
Brett Fridays every day. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he's like really digging in. Like Kieth, this is serious.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of play it off like. I get into Tecumseh, and I'm like, yeah. I said, man, I don't know. Maybe I have taken it too far, Brett. I don't know. I said, and I start playing the whole deal again. It's just where I'm at in life right now. And he's like, well, and he asked me, he's like, does your wife know about this? I'm like, shit, no, she has no idea. And like, he's wanting to get my wife involved to like he's wanting to have an intervention with me. And
he's got a banner ready and everything. Got it all ready to go.
But at this point, Brad and I have, we're both really good friends with Brett, and we've got this dude like. Oh,
he's tore up from the floor up.
He just doesn't know what to do.
You got him right where you want him.
I mean, he's just blown away. Like, what do I do here? And like I said, you did most of the planning, and it was good plots.
Yeah, but because the next step was
your next move.
My next step was that if we wanted to take it to another step, and we made it out that day.
Yes.
We recorded a video with me and you together.
Yes.
That said, "Gotcha." Yep. Basically, like, we got you, Brett. This is kind of a joke, right? So we made the video. We both had it. So if we felt like Brett's like on the brink of suicide, that we could rein it back in. You know what I mean? Like if he's just at that place. But the next step was I have a buddy who is a former deputy for Oklahoma County that was going to call Brett and say he's assisting me in filling out a restraining order form and a police report. And he was going to start questioning, saying, "So how long has Kieth been an employee of you? How long have you known him?" And like bringing his business into it, like his,
business hours.
Yeah, it was during business hours and like all this different stuff. And that was the next step.
Yeah.
And then we even dreamed even bigger.
Oh gosh.
And that we were even going to fake that I shot you.
You were going to pop a couple rounds.
Yeah,
off.
like I'm on the phone, be like, "Hey man, I'm in this parking lot, and Kieth is here, and Keith is like hitting my pickup, like you can hear you like hitting the hood of my pickup, and I'm like, Brett, your boy Kieth has lost his mind. He is like, he's trying to get me to get out of this pickup. Oh my gosh, he's trying to get in. I'm gonna have, and it's just this moment, and then I pop off 2 rounds, and then I'm like, I shot him, I killed him.
That would have been the step that sent Brett into the institution.
Oh, it had killed him. It had killed him.
He would have never spoke to us ever again.
No, he never spoke to us ever again. But we decided, we got to. So your wife steps in.
Yes.
And says, guys,
it's far enough.
The video is far enough. There's no police report. There's no fake shooting that needs to transpire. We got to.
She called it.
She called it. She said you got to call it.
Yes.
And so you sent a text to me and Brett that you're mad at me again.
I don't care about a restraining order.
I don't care about no restraining order, all this stuff. You send it, but then you followed up with the video.
Yeah.
And then how long was it before we heard from him again?
Man, you longer.
Yeah, he went almost 2 weeks without speaking to me.
I tried to call him for probably, I think 2 or 3 days after.
Yeah.
And just total silence.
Nothing.
No text. Nothing.
We didn't hear from him for multiple days, and then he finally responds and says, "Me and Timmy are good,
yeah,
but I'm not. But I'm never speaking to Brad again."
Yeah.
And then so I start texting him all these random pictures of me and him together.
Yeah,
like doing stuff, like him riding.
Collage.
A collage of all these pictures, like memories, like memory lane. Exactly. We're throwing in the emotion side of it to get it back and. Anyway, and
you're having to woo Brett back.
Yeah, I've got to woo him back, and he ends up. He goes, "All right, all's forgiven," like that, but he still won't answer my phone calls. Mm-hmm. And so he only called me 3 days ago from Florida.
He can play the silent treatment, man.
Yeah, no,
he
like
our wives and a lot of women are very good with. They can throw the silent.
You saying Brett's much like a woman?
That's where I'm headed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He can give a silent treatment for a good while.
Yeah, no, he can hold it down.
Yes,
keep it silent.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess me and Brett are on speaking terms. We've had one phone call since. But it's going to roll around. He's going to be ready to deer hunt. He's going to start. He'll be calling. Hey man, Anyway, so is there anything else you feel like you need to clear the air about when it comes to? Any of the allegations from the last podcast.
No, I got my name cleared.
Okay, you feel good about that?
The real Boomstick.
Okay.
And I am Boomstick. And the Opelousas story.
You feel like
I did tell you that other funny deal that happened in Opelousas, but after breakfast that morning and out that morning, and we came back and I painted the side of that building.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You got a little diarrhea from the old breakfast.
Do you have an on-cue moment?
Almost.
Oh, man.
No, but he had to go squat behind a building.
And, I had my routine. I was telling Brad, I'm like, man, I'll never forget.
He goes, you remember that? I said, dude, I don't know nothing about this.
We go out. As soon as we go out, we're out on the swamp like 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, man, this is not good. And I like tense up. I'm starting to tense up. I even crouched down in the boat. Nobody knew. I didn't want to say anything. But I crouched down in the boat, like just trying to.
Oh, the old double over stomach.
Yeah,
cramps.
just trying to just hold myself together.
You trying to convince your body?
Yes.
That you're not doing what you're doing.
Well, as we got going and we started getting gators and stuff.
Yeah.
The adrenaline I think helped take my mind off of it. So I coasted the rest of the day. I was okay. We start coming back in.
Oh, your butt knew.
And I'm
it's coming back in. It's time.
It starts hitting me. I'm like,
it's almost 5 o'clock.
I'm almost ready to jump out of the boat and swim to the bank. And I'm like, man, Reggie, can this boat go any faster, Reggie? And we get up to the bank, and I look.
And Reggie goes, But
he told me we got there, and he goes, I told him, I went up, I was very polite. I said, Reggie, is there somewhere I can go to the restroom over here? And he goes, yeah. He talked. I made out what I needed to make. Because at that point, I could understand any languge that I could need in the bathroom.
He's speaking in
He
tongues.
spoke Swahili. Yeah. I picked it up. I knew exactly what he said.
But he told me, when he finally realized what I was referring to, he goes, oh, building over there. And I went over to this building, and I mean, I guarantee you somebody showed up. They think somebody new showed up in Louisiana that's doing stucco. And
You painted the side of it.
Yeah, it's.
Oh man, that's great. Great stories, great time. Well, I'm glad you're able to came on, able to feel like you kind of cleared your name a little bit.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
Brett, we love you, dude. Please don't not talk to us ever or for 3 weeks or 3 days. We love you, Brett. We appreciate you. You're a good dude. But, here we are. So, everybody, Boomstick, thanks for coming on, being on the podcast today. That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Good times.
So
how
the air's been cleared.
The air's been cleared
with old Boomstick.
With old Boomstick, and
I did hear there were some great stories I didn't know about Brett. Can you imagine Brett rolling in with loop earrings?
Actually, yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. I mean, I can see old Bert, as the Beast calls him.
Bert
He calls him Bert.
So there's Bert, Whip.
It's Brett, Bert, Whip, Will.
And what? But he gave all kinds of what was some of the names?
Well, see, the thing is Keith calls Brett Tater. And
right.
Brett has always called Keith Tater.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, well, who's the actual Tater?
I don't know, man.
Is that like a cross-platform? We don't have any nicknames for each other. We don't call each other anything.
Red Panda, the Panda.
Well, you don't call me
that.
that.
I don't call you that.
That's like a colloquialism around other people to make jokes. But
we've got our own inside jokes.
Yeah.
Like this shirt that I'm wearing, the podcast shirt. So we haven't really talked.
Yeah.
So people may not, if you're a fan of the podcast, we do have podcast merch.
Yes.
And this would be some of it. This is right here, folks. If you're unaware, this is the China Pearl.
That is the China Pearl T-shirt.
At least the best of our knowledge.
It's what Google said.
It's what Google said.
Google translate
China Pearl. So if you remember first season, we've talked multiple times about the China Pearl.
The China Pearl is a running thing
in Lake Wales, Florida. It's not there anymore.
No.
But,
rest in peace.
Anyway, you can visit our website, find all kinds of merch, including this one and the Kendall Jones. It's okay. I hate me too.
It's okay. I hate me too is a funny shirt.
That's good stuff.
Shirt.
So is there a chance that Brett never speaks to us again?
I don't know. Like I got looped in on this, and I was like minimal participation.
No, I'm talking about even just this podcast today.
Oh,
like as he comes out, does he just like, oh man, these guys like. They did this prank. I got over it, and then they're coming in and do a whole whole podcast, an hour-long podcast.
I mean, there's a chance. There is a chance, but I mean, if you're gonna dish it,
and that's the thing
you
too,
got to be able to take it.
Is that people? I've been a part of 2 pranks with Brett.
Yeah, you have. Were they as long-lasting though?
Well, no, but one of them escalated really quick. I mean, violence was, bro. I was threatened. My life.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one was a really crazy situation. I won't go into all the details, but Brett called a guy and prank called a guy over some bad things this guy did to his buddy, and it was a bad deal. And the guy ended up figuring out it was Brett. And starts like yelling at him on the phone, and I'm in, and he's like, "Well, we'll just come to your house right now," and he's like, "Come on,
yeah."
And I'm like, "Are we going? Am I going? Am I fighting? I don't know the guy. Am I gonna have to fight because I'm just friends with Brett? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So Brett's put me in some moments too. So,
it's mutual respect.
It's mutual respect.
Yeah.
I will say this: it's great having friends.
It is.
It's good having friends.
It is great having friends, especially ones that you can nearly destroy.
Could you imagine if we'd have done that where I faked that I shot 2 rounds?
I liked my idea where you guys, you call Brett and you're like, dude, this has just got me stressed out. I just need can we just go play a game of golf at Fire Lake?
Yeah, I forgot.
And then on hole 9 or something like that, just old Boomstick's out there waiting.
I'll be honest, he drives up in a golf cart, no shirt on. with that club, skids up like
Yeah.
onto the green.
Yeah, he just sails the golf cart, just jumps
jumps
out.
Yeah, jumps
just
out while it's
lets it
still
go
going.
into a pond or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been incredible.
Yeah, no, I thought that had a great idea.
That was a good idea. So, see, Brett, there was more scheming. So Adam's over here like, oh, I'll play a minimum roll. He had another suggestion.
I did.
Another way
When
to
the
do
whole
that.
thing was brought up, I can't help myself. I am what I am. My imagination began to run. That's how
You just opt in with it.
That's how the Lord created me.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm an imaginative being.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. It was a good prank. We
Well,
got
yeah.
him good. The
Yeah.
doorbell. Were you impressed by my video editing? Doorbell.
When I watched the doorbell video, I went, "Oh gosh, this is getting out of hand." This is getting out of
I'm
hand.
gonna post it right here.
You're gonna play it so they can
Yeah,
see
so they
it.
can see it.
Oh gosh.
So you can see the video was so well done.
It was well done, and yeah, thank God for friends. Thank God for forgiveness.
Yeah, man, that's so true, Brett. I appreciate you forgiving me for the prank. But you're right. Thankful forgiveness, and I guess that's probably our lead in to figure out a way to wrap an aspect of spirituality to this podcast. Is us coming in and bringing up forgiveness, and we're thankful for Jesus that when we do stupid things,
and it's
His
how
grace is sufficient for me.
and how appropriate is it, that we find ourselves often in the same sin that we keep perpetuating on and on, just like this prank continued to perpetuate itself past the point where it should have.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd a fake shot Keith, I can look at that now and go, that was too much.
Now that I look back,
And I look back on that's probably
hindsight-
that was probably the moment where it was too much, where
Yeah.
I faked killing Keith. That he shows up, meets me in a parking lot. I pull out a 45 and I dump 2 rounds.
oh gosh,
Like we wouldn't have done it in a parking lot. We'd have done it somewhere else, and I'd just pretend like
that would have ended everything.
Yeah, that'd have been bad.
That'd have been really bad. That would have been bad.
Yeah, but you know what? That does kind of relate to how sin goes, though. It starts as something small. And it just builds and builds and builds and builds.
What's the thing? It'll take you farther than you want to go, cost you more than you want to pay.
Yep.
There's some other part to it.
That's enough for me.
That's enough
right
for you.
there.
Yeah.
Further than you want to go and more than you want to pay.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. This started out a little prank. Started out as something small. It's just kind of a little joke. Just kind of messing with Brett. Started with a text message, and then it was a phone call, and then it was, a video. And you know what? Sin can be the exact same way, man. It can start as something small, and if we don't check that, it can lead to something incredibly, incredibly bigger. We always talk about, sin, and we talk about something small. We always talk about David and Bathsheba. That's one that always sticks out to me in Scripture. What David, he's supposed to be at war. He's supposed to be leading his army. And so we can say, hey, it was wrong of him by not being the leader he was supposed to be in that moment. But when he walked out and he saw Bathsheba bathing in that moment from the palace, was that a sin?
It's not it's the dwelling that gets you.
Right. So, I mean, I can't control what a girl wears or what, something say like, you can't always control your environment, but it's what you do in that moment, right? So you see something, David could have went, whoa, hold on. He goes back inside, avoids it, but that's not what happens, right?
Yeah,
It's something small, man. He looked at her. He thought she was beautiful. He lusted for her. He sins for her. He sleeps with her. She gets pregnant. Turns into a Jerry Springer episode real quick.
Kills a dude.
Right? Has her husband brought in, tries to get him to sleep with her. He won't do it because he's an honorable man. He's like, man, I can't go lay with my wife when my fellow soldiers are on the battlefield. So he doesn't even sleep. He sleeps outside. Like what?
Sleeps on the porch.
And whole thing. And he's just like, all right, we're going to have to kill Uriah. And so he
sends him to the front line.
Sends him to the front line. Everybody had the order to retreat but him. And he's left on the battlefield by himself, and he gets killed. And it's just a crazy scenario, but it started as something so small. It was a moment. It was a moment of lust in his mind that he didn't check, And look what it led to.
And it led to it. And that's there's temptations going to come in our lives.
Yeah.
And we
money,
have to,
power, status.
You're surrounded by it at all points,
man,
and every aspect of every
David
day.
Bathsheba moment, right?
Yeah, but we remember that Jesus went through the ultimate temptation.
Yeah.
Of 40 days in the wilderness with the dude himself.
Yeah, with Satan himself.
And although tempted, did not sin.
Yeah.
And we have that same power. We don't have a junior version of it. We got the same juice.
That's right, man. That's a great word, man.
We got the same juice.
Great word. Great word, man. I'm so thankful for forgiveness. I'm so thankful for grace. I'm so thankful for mercy. Even when I don't deserve it, God gives it abundantly, man. His mercies are new when?
Every morning.
Every morning. Every morning. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching Boomstick.
Is that
podcast.
What this is called?
Oh, it has to be.
It's Boomstick.
We got to call it Boomstick.
Yeah.
Man. We got to go with the name Boomstick.
Yeah.
What if it's just like, what if it's Tater, Timmy, Boomstick?
Tater, Timmy, Kieth, Boomstick.
Yeah, Winchell.
Because the donuts, right?
Yeah, Winchell Donuts.
Man, now I want a donut. That's my kryptonite.
Oh, man. All right, man. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Adam, where can people find you?
You can find me at Hurley Films on the YouTube.
Yeah, you're posting videos again.
Making videos.
I love it. We got a bunch of new videos outside of just episodes.
Yeah.
We got some fun videos that came out. Me and Kendall Jones just went fishing. There's some videos from that are up. I went and did cryotherapy. And there's a video on
Is that
YouTube.
The cold thing?
Yeah, bro. -60.
Oof.
Yeah. They'll have to talk about that in the next podcast.
Oh, I want to go.
Oh, it's so much fun.
So
let's do it. Let's go do it and film it, and that'll be part of the podcast.
Welcome to the CryoCast.
Let's go. Hey, can we do one in float and do the float?
That'll be a weird podcast.
Number one,
my pineal gland is open. The third eye.
Yeah, it's never good doing a podcast naked floating in water. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. You can find Final Descent Outdoors at FD Outdoors on Twitter and Instagram. You can find Final Descent Outdoors just like that on Facebook. And you can also, check us out on YouTube. You can watch this video on YouTube if you're not watching it on YouTube.
Oh, man.
If you're listening through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any other places. And then you can go to our website, finaldescentoutdoors.com, find all kinds of merch, Final Descent merch, but also our podcast merch, which is a ton. We also have the Phallus Hole shirt.
The Phallus Hole. God, it's getting worse, too.
It is. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. I just can't wait for someone to pull out that clip of floating naked in water.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, gosh.
Oh, good stuff.